Meantime, we're watching shares of big tech this morning. Here's what's going on. Major companies rushing now to respond after President Trump announced plans late last week to impose a $100,000 fee on H-1B visas. These are used by corporations to bring highly skilled workers into the U.S. Some tech companies and banks scrambling over the weekend as a result of it. They're warning employees not to leave the United States or quickly return from overseas. Nobody seems to know what would happen to them. A White House official clarifying over the weekend that a one-time fee would only now apply to new H-1B applicants. That didn't stop all of the emails, not renewals or current visa holders, and won't apply to those granted visas back in 2025. Now, Amazon employs the most H-1B holders, more than 14,000. That's as of June. And it's creating a lot of consternation about whether this is the right policy. There's some folks coming out saying this is great. If you're a big tech company, this is not a bad outcome because you can afford to spend the $100,000. If you're a small startup or you're running a science lab and you don't have that kind of money, but you really want to be able to attract some of the smartest people from around the world, it's a whole lot more of a complicated scenario.
Is this a situation where they're trying to add additional pressure on India for the trade negotiations, or is this a situation where they're saying, look, you are keeping down market rates for what you would pay people because you're bringing people from overseas versus what you would pay wages here?
The unintended consequences could be huge, but at face value, Trump wants companies to hire American workers. Yeah. And I don't know what the number of, I don't know if apparently there's in his view or the administration's view, the system is being gamed. And it's not just highly skilled workers that are being hired. He thinks that they're trying to get, trying to pay much lower wages to foreign workers. And it's, it's sort of more of that overall problem. Also, sometimes I wonder why certain people wouldn't like this, because it is a revenue generator. It's going to cost companies money. It's $100,000. The companies pay it. The administration says it could be billions of dollars. It's another way of, very successful tech companies. A lot of people would certainly like to tax the profits of tech companies. This is a way of getting at some of it, and maybe
increasing wages
in a simplistic way, having more Americans being hired.
It's the equivalent of a tariff being put on the labor market.
Exactly, and trying once again to do the. I don't know if it works. I don't know how much the system is gamed. I'd like to know that. I'd like to know how much tech companies use to try to hold down labor costs with not highly skilled workers.
I just think there's two thoughts. We've all talked about wanting to, I think, staple a green card to a diploma. So folks who come to this country, who learn in this country, I would like to see them have the opportunity, if they could, to work here. Two is, the truth is, and you go back and look at Google. Google's the prime example of, there's a startup. It's a big company today, but it was a startup at one point. It's not clear you would have been able to have said startup in the United States. You can, by the way, go through the list of startups. By the way, not even clear that Elon Musk, talk about startups, could be here in the United States, because you'd have to go find some company, some big company, to quote unquote hire them. So there's lots of complications with this. It works if you are a big tech company that can afford this, sure. But after that, to the extent that you're actually trying to bring the best and the brightest to this country. Now, if you say you don't care about that, and this is just about hiring American workers, sure.
I don't even think it's about that. I think it's about, is it trying to keep down technology wages artificially?
I think
you can bring them here and just pay them the same that you would be paying.
The dirty little secret is that we lag badly in STEM. And innovation could be hurt.
That's
where you have to just sort of go, crap. We need these
you want
highly educated foreign workers because we are slacking here in terms of STEM.
But I'm not saying it just in the look.
We need to fix the education system here.